Hello, my fellow viewers and subscribers. This is Supercholatemilkshake, and I'm here with a quick little update. Actually, this is an update that I promised a short while ago back on Discord. And, yeah. I decided to come back to YouTube. But, under certain conditions, of course. If I ever see an error like this, which, by the way, was posted by a member of my Discord server, because they ended up getting the error and they shared it with me, so now I know what to look for if I do get the error. If I do get this message, I am not coming back to YouTube. And you'll probably see, and you'll probably figure that out when I stop uploading videos altogether. And it's been well over a year. So, anyway, what's up with me? What's going on? It's been a while since I did anything with Twitch. I've been kind of slowly rolling out some posts on Discord, but not that many. And I haven't been really necessarily posting to any of my other social medias. Well, how do I start this? How do I put this? I've been dealing with a lot of health issues of recent. Okay? Now, I know this is going to sound a little concerning, but there is a lot that I'm currently going through at the current moment. And some of it's physical, but most of it, I'm pretty sure, is mostly emotion. I'm pretty sure most of it is pretty much mental. I know that there's going to be some people who might probably go like, yeah, it could be easily fixed, but I don't know. Because I've been dealing with a lot of stomach pain of recent. Now, of course, when it comes down to it, the chest pain is nothing new. I've been dealing with that for quite some time. Actually, I've gotten to the point where I've been trying to actively ignore it because I think that's probably a smaller symptom of a much larger problem, because I also have been receiving a lot of pain inside my stomach, and it's been getting progressively worse with some of the more recent days. Like, within the past couple of months alone, I've been having a lot of pain inside my stomach. And I went to go see a doctor about that, okay? And basically they did an x-ray and found out that I was constipated. So my parents said I was full of shit, and now they got medical proof for it. I don't know how to feel about that one. But, to say the very least, yeah, like, it was a bit of a problem because, you know, when it comes down to it, your gut is a vital organ, and you gotta make sure that it's working properly and running functionally. But, of course, when it comes down to it, it's the real mystery of what's causing the constipation altogether. And, unfortunately, sometimes I seem to get pain whenever I eat, and I don't know what causes it either. Like, there could be a variety of symptoms to it. Sometimes it's tomatoes, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's garlic, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's something spicy, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it could be something like crackers or oatmeal sometimes. It's random and all over the place. And, you know, I didn't really necessarily get the chance to tell my doctors of that, but then, of course, I'm an uninsured person, and, well, let's just say with how things are going in our government right now, I may remain uninsured for pretty much the rest of my life. But, we'll see what happens. Anyway, neither here nor there. The real truth is that, I have all these symptoms, and, like, they're all compounding together. And honestly, it's keeping me up at night. It's causing me to have lack of sleep. It's also causing me to be a bit frustrated at times. I have been getting back on my own medicine, thankfully, but, again, it doesn't really necessarily 100% fix the problem. And also, it doesn't really necessarily help when I keep forgetting to take it sometimes. And that's probably a part of the issue, too, with the medicine not working, is that I just forget to take it sometimes, and that's part of the issue. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to necessarily work for me, you know? And I know there's a lot that I could be doing, too, to improve myself and all that other stuff. But, you know, this is also kind of funny, too, because I was thinking back on it and going like, man, when I was first working at McDonald's the first time, getting closer to the end of my time there, I was starting to feel pains inside my stomach anyway. Like, I was having issues with over here and in my chest and, you know, like, but they were minor. Like, they were easy to deal with. The only thing that was probably keeping me up at night was the stress and the anxiety coming from the job at the time because, well, let's face it, there were a lot of managers that shouldn't have been there. There were some, there was a whole lot of messes going on. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty and the details, but, yeah. And then, of course, I ended up in housekeeping, which actually wasn't too bad at that hotel. If it hadn't been for one person overstepping their boundaries and checking every single room, despite the fact that really they were only supposed to check the checkouts. Like, I probably would have been able to keep my job there, but of course, they decided to go through with every single room and wanted me to redo every single thing and touch and move customers' stuff, which, by the way, I'm not supposed to do, and they told me not to do that. So, like, that was definitely a step of over the boundaries, but that's neither here nor there. I ended up losing my job anyway. Another thing that also was like that, I felt it again at Taco John's, and then it kind of disappeared shortly after I quit. Actually, shortly before I even quit, actually. Just like putting that 2-week resignation notice, like that right there just sort of freed me. It made me feel a lot better. And honestly, I was doing so much better too. I was getting better sleep. I wasn't in pain. I lost all my headaches that I was having and dealing with at the time. I wasn't feeling necessarily as dizzy as I used to. And, I was feeling more confident in myself. I was willing to step out and be able to be more in public, And honestly, I was able to also take care of my family and also was able to do more videos for you guys. And, and then it all blew up in my face one night when my dad found out. Because I didn't necessarily tell him. And, sure, I should have told him. But at the same time, if I had to say... Anyway, if I had to say anything about... I am losing my train of thought here. Anyway, if I had to say anything about that, though, I already knew what he was going to say. I already knew what he was going to do and how he was going to react. And, he was basically just going to tell me, don't quit my job until I have another one lined up. Which, by the way, isn't always possible, by the way. Because, like, if you're trying to get out of a stressful situation or, sometimes you can get just fired. I mean, like, who's going to have another job lined up for that? And, even if you do have another job lined up, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to get it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to immediately get better hours from it anyway. Or either that, it's going to last very long either, because, well, let's face it, it's happened to one of my other family members where, they had another job lined up. It lasted for about a year, and then, yeah. But, when it comes down to it, again, I ended up going back to McDonald's only because it was probably the job that I could quickly get back into. And, I didn't have to put too much time, effort, or rigorous training into just to get myself back into it. And honestly, it was a job that I was probably going to instantly land anyway, whether I liked to do it or not. Because, it wasn't necessarily a wanted to do situation. Not a 100% anyway. More like maybe a 50%. And honestly, I'm falling back into that same exact category that I was, but maybe like 10 times worse when I left the first time. And that's not exactly good for me anyway. And honestly, I don't feel like this is technically the right path for me to go down. I'm still trying to figure myself out. I'm still trying to learn myself and grow and become better and all that other stuff. And honestly, I did watch a video of recent, as of today, as of recording this video, about people who are usually in their 18 to 29 age ranges where, you are still going through the motions, you're still trying to figure it out. This isn't supposed to be an easier period. It's supposed to be a period of when you're trying to figure yourself out and get yourself straightened out and trying to figure out what you would like to do with the rest of your life. And honestly, I mean, I never really thought of it that way. But, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea either to apply when it comes down to that. Again, it's kind of a bit of a... It's a mixed bag. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know if I want to keep thinking about that or whatever, but, because, at the end of the day, it's like... somebody actually also pointed out to me on Discord, too, that Superchocolatemilkshake at the end of the day is a product, and honestly, I should take care of myself as a human being. And, that's absolutely true, too. I should be taking better care of myself as a human being. I shouldn't be treating myself like trash. I shouldn't be leaving myself in a messy room like this. But at the same time, sometimes it's like all I have is like 20%. And again, I watched another video just today that also quoted this too, saying that if all you got is 20% and you give out 20%, then that is 100%. And like, that is also true too. Like, even when you're giving it your all, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're giving out, I mean, even if you're giving it your all, and your all is basically 20%, then yeah, like, you should probably just take a rest. Step back, rethink things, and think things through, you know? And that's kind of the issue there, too. I mean, I understand that some things are rough, too. Oh, yeah, and then not to mention, moving grandma was pretty tiring as well. Part of the reason why I ended up having to postpone the month of scares this year, because, well, not only was I kind of disappointed with how the costume for the shake turned out this year, but also when it comes down to it, I truly had nothing ready when it came down to it. I got caught with my pants down, even with the fact that I promised you guys that I would start all the way back in frickin' July. No, June, actually. I wanted to start Month of Scares content all the way back in June and just keep working on it until like at the beginning of October, work on a few extra videos throughout October, and then be done and over with, you know, and have it be my biggest grandiose year of all. But I got absolutely nothing done. The only thing that I probably got done was the notebook and a few of the notes that I took down, but that's it. That is all I got done. Oh yeah, and the banner and part of the banner for the Month of Scares this year. It's like, I couldn't get my heart into it at all. And again, I think part of it may just be because of the mental exhaustion coming from my work and trying to maintain my family life while still trying to do some of the things that I would like to do. And, you know, at this point, it's pretty much catching up with me where basically it's like I'm sitting around and doing nothing. Like, honestly, today I just got a new window installed. Though, granted, I was supposed to have my room cleaned about 2 or 3 weeks ago so that we could have had it installed right away. But I wasn't able to get my room clean. And honestly, getting it cleaned for this installation was also a bit of a pain in the butt for me, too, because I mean, for today's installation was a pain of a butt for me, too. In fact, I woke up at, like, 5 o'clock in the morning with some heartburn. I don't know how I got it. I don't know where I got it, but I woke up with it anyway. And after I woke up, I decided, you know what, it'd probably be better to just do something than to just try to go back to sleep with this, because it's just going to cause me pain. It's going to cause me turmoil. It's going to cause me stress. And you know what? It'd probably be better to just do something than to just sit around and hope that I fall back asleep again. So instead, I just decided, screw it, let's just get to work on something. And, you know, it's part of the reason why I started cleaning up my room and getting it ready for the window replacement today. Though, granted, my dad was like, well, John, you shouldn't have been doing it this late. Well, yeah, I couldn't focus it on it. I mean, I couldn't focus on it at all. In fact, when it comes down to it, heck, even this video, I wanted to record this a lot sooner and get it out to you guys a lot sooner than this. I wanted to get it out, like, Friday, you know? Actually, no, I didn't want to get it out Friday. I wanted to get it out Wednesday, of all days. And yet, I couldn't make myself focus on it. I couldn't get myself to record anything for it. I couldn't get myself to bring anything out for it. Well, okay, I was bringing stuff out of it. I was talking about it. I was doing some, like, preemptive practice, but it wasn't necessarily recording it, you know? And, like, even then, it's like, I don't know how much you guys would have accepted some of my practice runs anyway. I mean, heck, even this video is just 100% improvised. I'm not necessarily, like, doing this from a script or anything like that. There is no script over here on the screen. There is no script that I'm holding inside my hand. There is no script in front of me. There is no stand in front of me. I'm just trying to do this all from the heart, and that's part of the reason why sometimes I tend to drift off, tend to forget, and sometimes I tend to bunny trail, because, again, that's just symptoms of ADHD. But neither here nor there. Like, I am, yeah, I guess I'm just tired and I'm struggling to keep up with myself, per se. I am struggling to find my center, find my core, and try to get myself into a position where I could start feeling better about myself, start feeling better about some of the things that I can do, and the things that I should be doing, and the things that I want to do. But I can't necessarily make myself do that if I'm just going to be exhausted all the time, or if I'm going to struggle to keep myself awake, or even struggle to go to sleep. Because, that's also another issue that I've also had, too. I have a hard time telling when I should be going to sleep. And honestly, the only times that I've been going to bed is basically when I feel tired enough that I start falling asleep inside this chair, which happens a lot more often than you think. Actually, sometimes I've even taken naps from this chair alone, or almost naps. I've even felt myself just slumping over because it's like I can't keep myself awake anymore. And, I don't know if that's pretty much a lack of activity or whatever, but sometimes I even feel fatigue throughout the rest of the day, too. And this is kind of where it's like I think this is mostly mental and not physical, because I know stress can F up your body big time. Like, it's part of the reason why I'd say you should look after yourself mentally as well as physically, because your brain is a part of your body, no matter which way you look at it. Like, this thing up here is always going to dictate what's going on down here. What's going on down here, or with your organs, or with your headaches, or your eyesight, and your scent, and your taste. Like, that's why you should always take care of your brain. And sometimes if you start experiencing some of these problems, more than likely, it's your brain that may be causing them. And again, but sometimes it's like, I understand that's also not an easy thing to solve either. Because, you know what? I don't even understand my own brain. If I did, I would have written myself a whole manual and gave it to my parents. Go like, okay, this is how you handle me, this is how you do it. No, it doesn't work like that. And, you know what? My dad talks about me having control over myself, and he talks about it like it's simple. I hate to break it to him, but it's not. It's anything but. And honestly, there is no signs whatsoever that it's ever going to be that simple. Like, you can't just make yourself stop having a panic attack because you want to stop having a panic attack. You can't just make yourself stop feeling mad because you don't want to feel mad. Or, you know what? You can't just make yourself stop crying because you want to stop crying. Or, you can't just make yourself... Or, you know what? You can't tell your heart to stop beating for a few moments because you want it to stop beating for a few moments. You can't do anything like that. Like, it doesn't work like that. You can't just control everything inside your body because, even at the end of the day, even if it's your body, you don't have all the control over it. It's not 100% what's going on up here. It's not 100% what's going on here. It's not 100% what's going on here. It's a wide majority of it. And honestly, there's a lot of issues that come with some of the things that these mental issues can also do too. Because again, your brain ends up sending unnecessary signals to your stomach, or to your heart, or to your skin, or to your eyes, And it makes you do things that honestly you shouldn't be doing. Like, again, like that one night when I had a panic attack. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was going to die. I literally thought, this is the end. This is it. This is how I go out. Not with a big battle cry, not a big ball of fire, but just a whimper, really. And, it scared the living daylights out of me, And I understand that, it wasn't necessarily 100% a death thing, and it wasn't going to be happening that night or that day or whatever. But again, that's kind of one of my biggest fears too, is I'm going to be ending up working back drive, and they may just find me dead back there because I died, but nobody else was paying attention. And that's kind of a problem. That's kind of an issue. That's kind of part of my issue right there, is that, I'm scared to see what's going to happen or how I may go out. because sometimes I often feel like it's going to happen real soon. And truth be told, it shouldn't be happening like that. It shouldn't be happening real soon. It shouldn't be happening like in an instant, or it's going to happen right now, because, let's face it, if it's going to kill me, then it might as well just kill me. Straight up, 100%. I mean, as little suffering as possible, quickly as it can, just kill me. Seriously. I mean, heck, I've even told the doctor when I walked in, going like, I know it isn't that serious, because if it was going to kill me, I would already be dead. I wouldn't be walking in here today, And I mean, sure, it may sound a little bit jokingly, but at the same time, I'm also taking it as seriously as I possibly can, too. Which, kind of goes back to the fact that I think it's mostly anxiety and nothing else. Or stress, too. Stress can also do that, too. Stress does also a lot of weird, crazy stuff with your body that you absolutely hate, and that is going to cause you problems later on down the line. And again, this is part of the reason why taking a rest is so important. Something that is so frowned upon within our society today, where taking a vacation might as well just be a death sentence for you. And my hair fluffed out a little too far. Anyway, I need a haircut. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like, taking a vacation is a bit of a death sentence for you, because you can't take care of yourself. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to work. It frustrates me to no end. Like, I understand. If I want a program, yes, that's going to be work. But what's wrong with doing some of the work that I can enjoy myself with? Or, like this. Recording a video for you guys. Editing a video for you guys. Like, why is that so hard? Why do you want to make that hard for me to do? Why do you want to make it so that I'm only focused on work at all the times? Or work is the only thing that I could do? Like, honestly, this is kind of what's so effed up about American society right now. And you know what? I will openly criticize that for that, because, let's face it, it sucks. I mean, people in Europe point and cry at us because of how sad and how poorly we treat each other, because we just endorsed in some of these lies that we've been given. These rich people aren't going to take care of us. No way. They're not going to give us vacation time because they feel like it. They'll give themselves vacation time because they feel like it. In fact, they probably take more vacation time throughout the year than I would ever dream to take in just maybe like 10 years. Like, they could retire tomorrow and be perfectly fine for the rest of their life because they're millionaires. Meanwhile, if I lose or quit my job, my ass is grass. I'm getting kicked out of the house because I have no money. I can't pay the rent. I can't afford the rent. I'm barely making ends meet right now as it is. Even just to afford some of the stuff that I want to do for you guys, or to afford some of the stuff to try to better myself in the careers fields that I do want to get better at, or to try to impress my dad or my mom or somebody else. It does not matter. And you know what? I end up being way more stingier with my money than ever. And even then, that's also coming to a bit of a fault too, because things are getting so high right now that savings doesn't matter anymore. That the amount of money that I put into savings just was blown. It's gone. Like, you can't necessarily save money anymore because of how quickly prices are rising. You just can't save for that one big thing that you want or the next big thing. You have to just go like, okay, yeah, we're just going to have to do something else with this. And like, sure, I don't mind investing, but at the same time, it's like I'm a little leery about it because I know that I could end up losing money with it as well. I mean, it's always going to be a gamble. Even if it's sometimes a premeditated gamble, it's still a gamble nonetheless. I mean, in fact, when it comes down to it, I've even been thinking about buying lotto tickets. Of course, if I win, I'd tell no one. Because, well, let's face it, I probably still work at my job for a while, and yeah. Because, not because of the fact that I want everybody to know, or, well, not because I want to have people suffer for not knowing. It's because I know exactly what's going to happen if I do win, and if I do tell people, and if I do tell people who I am. I'm going to get emails and letters from people who claim to be ex-friends or long distance relatives, or relatives that were once removed, twice removed, or whatever. I mean, I know I'm going to get people like that. Which is part of the reason why it's better not to tell anybody if you win the lotto or if you get an inheritance. Don't go bragging it to the world, you know? Don't do something foolish and stupid like buy a brand new car or something like that. You know, play it safe, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be hounding you and trying to make sure that you spend money on them no matter what, or you give them money no matter what, despite the fact that really it shouldn't be that. It's your money, you do what you want with it. And yes, I can understand if you want to give them money, but, you know, do it in a way that's sound, at least, and that they don't exploit you for it. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I would take some of that money and try to invest it into some of my own career and trying to better myself, and maybe hire some people to help me out with it, so that maybe I can be able to get Cateroy Boyd Man off the ground, and maybe Diagnosis Psychosis, and maybe a few other game projects that I have in mind in the background as well, and maybe help other people with their game projects as well. Because, you know, it's a two-way street, you know? I might as well try to help some other people out with it, because, you know, there's some people who have some great game ideas or want to execute some game ideas and do it well. And, you know, like, who am I to deny them? You know, they should have the right to produce and make their own games as well. And even if it's going to be kind of restricting because they don't necessarily know how to code, or if they don't want to necessarily come into contact with a game engine or whatever, that's fine. They don't have to if they don't want to. You know? Like, they could pitch an idea and we can work with it. We can try to run with it, you know? And I think that's kind of the basic point. That's kind of the core concept. But that's neither here nor there. I'm kind of bunny trailing again. So, yeah. I also would have to say that the update for the game has also been coming along very, 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 very slowly. But then again, that's only because my motivations have been very, 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 very low. And, you know, low motivation levels also kind of means that I'm struggling with a lot of other things in my life as well. And it's a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a headache for me. I kind of want to improve. I want to make better decisions for my life. And I kind of want to make myself so that I don't have to go back to, you know, or, you know, just try to get myself at least a little more stable so that I don't have to, like, go working for McDonald's anymore, because, you know, I am getting kind of sick and tired of the job. I'm sick and tired mentally to the point where I'm physically sick, and, you know, like, that's a problem right there. I didn't really necessarily want to 100% come back to the job. I only took the job because I knew it was going to be an easy way to get it, and to keep my dad quiet, and to prevent him from kicking me in the balls again. That's probably the only thing that I really remember from that night, was the argument and the kicking in the balls. Actually, primarily just the kicking in the balls, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, yeah, I know, when it comes down to it, if your dad did something like that to you, you probably remember that more vividly than anything else of that night. Because, well, let's face it, he shouldn't be doing that. But neither here nor there. The real truth is, and I'll put it bluntly like this, that I do want to get back into this. I do want to start creating content for YouTube again. I still want to live stream on Twitch a little more often. I do want to get back into developing again as well. And also trying to get my room cleaned up, my life organized, and get myself right on the right track. Because it's kind of an issue for me right now. Is, you know, I don't feel like it's 100% on the right track. And I know it doesn't have to be at this current point, because, you know, any place is a good place to start. Even if it's from the absolute worst place you could imagine, it's still better than nothing. I would still have to say that, personally, I would want to try and keep moving forward with this and try to keep improving myself and trying to keep doing better. But right now, I'm kind of in a slump. I am trying to figure myself out, and I'm trying to get myself to be a little bit better and to try to live a little more healthier and, try to get my weight under control and, try to get myself into a prime look and trying to organize myself so that I know what I'm doing, what I'm going to say, and what my next move will be, And whether if it's been premeditated or not, at least I know what my next move will be. And, focusing on the now and not what's next and what's going to come in the future, because that's the thing. When you start thinking about the future, it causes you more anxiety more than it does anything else. Focusing on the now is probably the best thing that you could possibly do, because now is the most important time. You may not be alive tomorrow, but I can guarantee you're alive now. You're watching this video right now, And that's something that I think a lot of people obviously tend to overlook when it comes down to it, because, now is the most important time. Today is the gift. That is why they call it a present. It's a quote that's been said so many frickin' times that nobody knows who actually said it. But you know what? It's important to remember that quote. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for this update. I don't know when I'm going to be uploading my next piece of content. It may be a little bit. I have to give myself a little bit of time to recover just a little bit more and maybe figure things out. And maybe if I can be able to get myself right on the right track, I might be able to get something else up, and something big and something fantastic and something that isn't nearly as depressing and something that really isn't necessarily like me just kind of grumbling and mumbling about some of my own problems and my physical health and all that other stuff. It's something that may be fun, okay? But you guys got to give me a little bit of time to work on it, okay? Because, I am trying to get myself back into the mental focus. I'm trying to get myself back into doing the right thing for myself, to keep myself moving and to keep myself moving forward, because I need to keep moving forward, and I need to keep doing better for myself, and I need to keep doing better for my life. So anyway, yeah, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. This is Superchocolatemilkshake, signing off. Man, that felt good. Haven't done that in a while.